slice level vertebrae training on the segmentation label data. So again, just going back here, what we're doing here is we've created these labels for the segmentation maps, and we want to make a model to learn to be able to create those vertebrae labels for all the data. And that's what that stage 2 is doing. So 32 by 3D, 96 slices along the Z-axis. We crop out the box, resize it to 512 by 512, pass it through the gap layer. The label is the rate of pixel count for a vertebrae in the slice. So that ratio that we talked through. RMSE loss is used, and yes, again we use this model going forward as well, but this is just to learn that. So as a final step, when we predict on all the data, we have these vertebrae ratio predictions, and as mentioned before, we multiply these by the study. I need to update this to the study level fracture labels to give slice level fracture labels. Sorry, yeah, vertebrae study level fracture labels to give slice level fracture labels. So at this stage, what we've learned is for all the data we have vertebrae slice ratio predictions. So for each slice, what ratio of the vertebrae is in there, and we also have is that vertebrae fractured or not, a ratio number is that vertebrae fractured or not. So we take that data that we've predicted and we train a second model where we, again, those 32 by 3D 96 slices along the Z-axis, we randomly take them out of different studies, crop out the image again, resize to 512, extract the gap layer, pass into the CNN. We take those labels from stage 2 that we talked through, and the model uses that, and we use RMSE loss to learn the vertebrae and fracture labels on all the data. This runs very long. It runs about 10 hours on a 40 gig GPU card. So because there's a lot of data to work through, we're taking a lot of different overlapping slices of those 96 slices. So we've got a pretty strong model at this stage, which is able to pick up which vertebrae it sees, and if it's fractured or not, the chance that it's fractured or not. And what we do in the next stage is we take the previous stage's CNN, we load that in here to this model, and we initialize a new LSTM and a tension layer, and we learn on the study level fractures for each vertebrae, as well as if there's a fracture at all in the study. We don't take random crops out here, we just take the whole study where we have vertebrae. So you remember earlier we talked about the bounding boxes. We're able to sort of say, okay, this is where the vertebrae bounding boxes start, this is where they end. So we take that portion of it, we pass in here, extract the gap layer and pass it through, and learn those study level labels. This model runs for about an hour, and the loss on this is just the loss, the metric that was given for the competition. So I think we're at the end now. So thank you very much for hosting the competition. I really enjoyed it again, and it's always a challenge, and to see how we can approach these problems, and I hope RSNA, ASSR and ASNR teams will be back next year to give us another challenge. We'd really look forward to that. Thank you.